It keeps getting darker.
Huh?
What's the most haunted building in Minnesota?
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
That's a great question for Google.
Yeah. I think that house right there.
Oh, do you want to
Across the
visit
street
it?
from where is
Yes,
actually
there
the
you go.
original house.
You want to go visit
I can see it in the background.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I'm not gonna get tortured.
Alright, so this house right here, William Adams, a partner in a hardware shop, built this home in 1867. When it was built, this house faced Madison Street. In the late 1920s, the homeowner had the house moved to its current diagonal position. We don't have record of why they decided such a small move, but perhaps it was to get a better view of Macaulay Pond, now home of the Anoka tornadoes. Colonel Paul Giddings is the home's most enduring resident. Born in Anoka in 1872, Paul was the son of a prominent doctor. After graduating from Anoka High School in 1892, he enlisted in the 8th Cavalry at Fort Meade, South Dakota, married Miss Mabel Hughes from Anoka, and began a long military career. The colonel served in the Indian Uprising in Minnesota, the Spanish-American War in Cuba, and in the Philippines and in World War I. His wife Mabel's family purchased this home in 1901, and after both Mabel and her mother died, Paul inherited the house in 1923. And then here is a picture of the colonel and his first wife, Mabel. A few years later, in 1928, after 36 years of military service, he retired as a colonel of the infantry and returned to his home with his second wife, Flora. It appears that even in death, Paul Giddings felt most at home in Anoka. His military record was distinguished by kindly attention to the men under his command and of keen interest in their welfare. Perhaps he still feels responsible for the welfare of his men, which might explain some of the ongoings the residents of this home have experienced. One evening, the lady of the house noticed every light on in the basement. No one had been down there, so she went down to check things out. In the furnace room, there was a strong smell of gas. The family called the gas company right away, and the repairman found a dead squirrel lodged in the chimney, which was preventing the venting of a gas leak. If the family hadn't called when they did, they would have been in serious trouble when it came to morning, as either they had died from carbon monoxide or the furnace would have exploded. The lady credits the ghost for saving their lives.
Wow.
One night at around 2:30 in the morning, the lady of the house was awakened when the light in the bedroom suddenly came on. Startled, she looked around but saw nothing unusual. Since she was awake, she decided to check on the kids. One felt hot to the touch and discovered that the child had a temperature of 104. Thanks to the ghost, she could tend to the child immediately, and this has only happened once.
That's amazing.
The homeowners now believe there may be one spirit living here. The woman who lives here now also grew up in this house. One night after her father had passed away, the lady woke up around 3 a.m. to see her father standing at the foot of the bed. In the morning when she got up, she thought it was all a dream until her daughter said something that her grandpa had visited her. After comparing details such as what he was wearing, his favorite blue sweater, she realized it wasn't a dream. Grandpa had really visited. Thank you. One day the couple noticed a light coming from inside the kitchen wall. They carefully opened that portion of the wall and found a tiny little light bulb shining. As their son-in-law is an electrician, they investigated and the light connected to a small call button set next to the colonel's chair in the library. The button had been pushed throughout the years to no effect, but the little light survived to turn on just at that moment. And we will actually head down to the next house since they're down there already. Can't believe I'm beating them. All right.